honour tonight to speak on behalf of the club of one of our great men and our great friends, the passing of Don Hoare on Thursday night. It wasn't hard to put a lot of cherished words about a great legend, great man of our club, a guy who was purely green and gold and A&A all the way. I'll start off as, this is a history of Don Hoare. It probably goes for a while, but it's just, everything has to be said about a guy that's probably what makes this a great club. The year was 1938, and ironically the birth of Donny coincided with the year that his father Bob, and along with Harry Morgan, was fortunate enough to be a part of A&A's first premiership team. The Bentley branch of the Australian Natives Association had made their mark in the local Bentley community. As a youngster in the 1940s, saw Donny watching his brothers Ken and Alan join their dad through a period where they each also tasted premiership success several times, in an era where the club was one of the strongest in the district. With the green and gold entrenched in his veins, along with his schoolyard buddies Alan Whiting and Jimmy March, he joined the club in 1950. And it was through this period that lifetime friendships were formed with club legends like Cyril Park, as well as Rex and Barry Shepherd. It was with great pride that he remembered tasting the premiership success in 1958 as a raw 19-year-old, mixing with the likes of club greats as Max Papley and Bob Armfield, in an era that saw A&A emulate feats of current CMCA grade teams, winning 3 flags in 4 years. Often celebrated with a quick beeline to the Boundary Hotel to line up the pots for the 6 o'clock swill. But as often happens, following dizzy successes in the 60s saw the club enter tough times. He often spoke of recalling Sheppy and himself pondering where this would all end up. Fierce rivalries as strong as friendships were formed with West Bentley Barry Pritchard and with Bentley Methodist Bob Tidball. But sadly A&A struggled on the field. However, out of disappointment came opportunity, and talented administrators like his good friend Eddie Benson, who's here tonight, were soon to arrive. Under the watchful eye and the never tiring efforts of Paddy Crozier, the junior program grew. And from the evolution, some of his closest friends, including Tony Caddy, as well as John and Alan Sanders, friends forever, and friends he still held dearly throughout all his years of his life. As the 60s became the 70s, friendships were formed with great clubmen, Grumpy Sanders, club stalwarts, Deffy James and Harry Williamson. Not to mention astute businessmen like Alan Blumfield. We all still remember the nights drinking in the old green shed at King George, with beers cooled from ice made from the RM4 and Sons Iceworks, and the old concrete trough, lit by the assistance of an early model Holden car, parked strategically across the door so the guys could see. Life was a lot simpler back in those days. A cricket bat was for life, as was a strap-on aluminium protector, and green silky spiked gloves. Orange roll-up run-ups led to coil-covered concrete on grounds. They often looked at after by players themselves. Playing in B grade, this young crew developed well, and under Donny's guidance, achieved premiership success, ensured a return to the top level in the CMCA as the club entered into the 1970s. To assist the club during these times was his wife Shirley Moore. Joined other active mums, wives and girlfriends like Margaret McTaggart, Val Saunders and her daughters-in-law, Cheryl and Jan, informed Bentley A&A Women's Auxiliary, focusing on the social fundraising needs for this now growing club. As the 70s progressed, A&A's junior talent further evolved, led by John Sanders, the arrival of club legend and long-time friend Fitzroy Crozier, who joined his outstanding junior cousin David, saw the club achieve long-awaited premiership success in 1975, in a year where Donny also shared premiership glory, captaining the second 11, and sharing that with his loyal mate Harry Vanswest, when the first and seconds both won the premiership in the same year. As the 70s turned into the 80s, it was Donny's turn to lead the club. He took on the presidency role, and A&A juniors were strong. Players like Taylor, Fontaine, Armfield went on and played better things district cricket. Whilst others achieved premierships in the local scene, including his two sons, Darren and Craig. Club veterans like Fishy, Harry, Kevin Owens and Dennis Williams provided key support through these times, along with Heck McDonald and John Chisholm. Changing times saw the arrival of the comical personalities like the Beatles and the Bogleys, who joined good mate Russell McTaggart. Characters formed the heartbeat of this club. As the decade progressed, new leaders emerged. Neil Vorback, Cedric Jantz, Bob Wilson, John Bacon, Richard Smith and myself. And when the last batch on Thursday night, hot dogs were simmering in the coffee urn, he knew it was time to hand over the reins and let the others enjoy the experience that he was fortunate to have had. And so, weary from his 35 years at the club, leaving the hallowed King George, after having played his final innings, he looked back with satisfaction. Where three overlapping ovals once stood, now there was two. Laid green aluminium sheds were gone, now replaced by a grand pavilion. Not only does he reflect, but he ponders what the future may hold. As a new generation arrives with their kids, the Jansters, the Dolmans, the Wilsons, the Bacons, the Locanos, the Ships, and then maybe the Ballbacks. And who knows, perhaps another more. He turns back to raise a glass to the air, hoping you will join him in one last toast to the mighty green and gold, the club he loved, the Bentley A&A Cricket Club. Can you please stand up and have... To Donny Gore, the club legend. Thank you. Donny.